Have you nearly died on a smart motorway? Well, hundreds sadly did, and billions were blown on a system that was broken from the start. These weren't smart motorways, this was motorway madness. In this video, I'll give you the full story on the dumbest innovation ever to hit the street, plus I'll give you real usable solutions that would actually work. I'll do that right after this.
A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
Part 1. Why you nearly died on a smart motorway. What if you're driving along on a motorway and your car cuts out or a tire blows? It's okay, you can pull over into the hard shoulder and wait for the rescue services. But what if there isn't a hard shoulder? Well, then you're screwed. What's worse is that this missing hard shoulder isn't some kind of a mistake or a construction mistake, it was policy. Since the early 2010s, £1 billion has been earmarked for so-called smart motorways, although there was even a £2 billion contract that was planned to convert more motorways until it was actually shelved in 2023. Known as ALR, or all lane running, these are motorways where the hard shoulder is either permanently removed or temporarily used as a lane of the motorway. However, we have a slightly different term for ALR. We call it all lives risked. The idea was to cram more cars onto motorways and get them moving faster by using all available space rather than actually just widening them. It was first tested on the M42 in 2006 and it worked only because, refuge areas there were frequent and detection systems actually functioned. But then they decided to roll it out everywhere, M1, M4, M6, M25, but they skimped on safety. In some cases, emergency laybys were as far apart as 2.5 miles. Meanwhile, drivers who broke down were sitting ducks on a live traffic lane, often sadly hit before control rooms even noticed they were there. By the time they closed the lane to traffic, it was tragically too late for some. This wasn't smart. This was state-sanctioned vehicular roulette. The RAC called it a dangerous experiment. We'd call it a catastrophic betrayal of basic road safety. As such, there were, sadly, at least 38 deaths by 2020, and by 2022, 24 fatalities in 1 year alone, all because the government wanted a cheap fix for congestion. Part 2, how they finally got scrapped. So who killed the smart motorways? Not the government, you did. After years of warnings from the AA, the RAC, coroners, MPs, and thousands of fuming motorists, after tragic headlines and damning inquests, and after it became embarrassingly clear that the detection systems were breaking down almost 400 times, in fact, between 2022 and 2024, then in April 2023, the government finally admitted defeat and they binned all future smart motorway projects. They said it was due to financial pressures and lack of public confidence, I'll say. In other words, we got caught and were skinned. However, existing smart motorways are still operational, they're still out there. They're throwing a few more cameras and radar systems and detection systems at them, but effectively they're still dangerous and they're still not very smart. Hope you're enjoying this video. Make sure to hit like, share and subscribe if you're not already doing so. And support independent automotive journalism channels like mine. You can do that at patreon.com, coffee.com, or taking out a subscription right here on YouTube. Or you know what, better still, you can go and buy my books. I've got 3 books out now. They're all on Amazon. They're all available to buy. More details on this are in the description, but buying any of these books will certainly help. Thanks so much for watching. Part 3. How do we stop this madness from ever happening again? How do we make sure that people who thought this was a good idea never get near motoring policy ever again? Well, this happened because decisions were made without real-world insight, without listening to motorists, and without the humility to admit that not all problems can be solved by math calculations without factoring in human actions, mechanical reliability, and sheer bad luck. So in future, demand independent expert reviews before any major road policy is approved. Push for driver consultation and hold the decision makers accountable permanently. The next time some minister with a spreadsheet says, "It'll be fine," ask them to go park in lane 1 of a smart motorway on a Friday afternoon. See how long they survive that. Part 4. What should a real smart motorway actually look like? What really helps to keep motorways flowing then? Well, variable speed limits for one, not to punish drivers but to smooth out traffic flows. They have been proven to reduce collisions if used with live monitoring. Ramp metering. This is something that is used in Netherlands and to great effect. It paces the traffic entering the motorway, easing congestion without scrapping safety margins. Smart emergency response tech. Instant vehicle detection, AI-assisted dispatch, and drone-assisted incident management. Some of this has been tried in places like Dubai, for example. Wider lanes and real-world shoulders. Just widen the roads and keep the hard shoulder, for God's sakes. Also, maybe learn from Germany's autobahns. No blanket speed limits, but they work and have an excellent safety record. So-called smart motorways were truly dumb. They wasted money, they didn't work, and tragically, they cost lives too. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on this. Don't forget to hit like, share and subscribe on your way out, and I'll catch you all in the next video. And before we go, Peter, you've been very kind because you had some really nice things to say about something I'd written.
Yeah, you freaked me out a little bit. Like when I met you, obviously you're a jack of all trades and you can talk about anything. But you said, Pete, I'd like you to read this story. And the story is called Stang Struck. And I start reading it. I'm actually getting, this sounds weird, but I'm getting chills because it was like he lived in the car, because he described different things that these cars, if you're used to them, they do. They all have idiosyncrasies, but he hit every nail on the head in terms of the idiosyncrasies of the car, how they act and how they perform. And I felt like I was driving the car with his character. Phenomenal. He's got a wonderful book called Quantum Races, which is a group of his short stories. The guy writes brilliantly. I promise you, I'm not just saying it. The book is worth the price just for Stang Struck. Wonderful, wonderful book.
Peter, thank you. It means a lot. It means a lot coming from you. I mean, you know your Mustangs.
I try, but you hit the nail on the head. I really enjoyed reading it, and thank you.
How to be an automotive content creator by BC Guy. I've been an automotive journalist for 35 years. I've done everything. I've been Saudi Arabia's first motoring journalist. I've driven vintage Bentley blowers. I've driven Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Bugattis, even an F1 car, hung out with F1 legends, presented cars on radio, on TV, at live shows, at major motor shows. But how have I done this? Well, I'll explain everything in my latest book. It's out now, it's on Amazon. How to get into this career, how to be on this same journey, how to get cars, how to review them, what equipment to use, what platforms to get onto, how to turn it into a sustainable career. All of those secrets and more are all in this book. It's out now. 35 years of experience I have poured into this book. Shout out time, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, if you enjoy my content, why not get involved? Buy me a coffee. You can do that at either of these links. Or if you're watching on YouTube, buy me a thanks or take out a membership. It all helps. It really does.